where all you have to do is hit a button and you get whatever sexual genre you would like on the screen before you. And you can even hit a button and have any sexual genre show up for you. Hey, welcome back for another episode of Porn Brain Rewire with me, Dr. Trish Leigh. Today we're going to talk about the solution on how to heal your brain from porn use. On the next episode, we're going to talk about the solution on how to heal erectile dysfunction and other arousal dysfunctions in the brain like premature ejaculation and delayed ejaculation. Before we explore the solution, let's explore the problem. So we're going to go problem, solution, how to implement it in your life, brain hack strategy. So the problem is the opposite of the solution so many times. Okay, so when it comes to porn use, what is the problem? The problem is that you have inadvertently set yourself up with a lifestyle, not life, lifestyle or situation where you go into the screen for high levels of dopamine to offset stress and boredom. You've taught your brain to use sex and porn to be able to give your brain this rush of dopamine so you can feel good and escape from the feelings of primarily stress, but secondarily boredom. Now, this is what I call a lifestyle of the easy button. If somebody was having a problem, they could just hit the easy button and a guy would show up and solve all the problems for him. Where all you have to do is hit a button and you get whatever sexual genre you would like on the screen before you. And you can even hit a button and have any sexual genre show up for you. So the problem when it comes to porn use and hypersexuality is an easy button lifestyle. And when we're thinking about that neurologically and applied directly to porn use, what happens is when you fire up your computer or your tablet or your phone, you hit a button literally, and you are exposed to high levels of dopamine in your brain from what you are viewing on the screen. We know that porn is a supernormal stimulus. It delivers a lot of dopamine into your system, which makes you feel really good. It's that rush in your brain that you feel. And most people pair pornography use with masturbation. So pornography use, it's fantasy, it's visual and auditory stimulation, lighting up those areas in the reward center in your brain. And then paired with masturbation, you're coupling it with intense physical stimulation also. So a pornography habit typically is, on varying levels of intensity, a mental and physical stimulation habit that helps you to calm down and to feel stimulated simultaneously. That's why you keep going back, because it delivers high levels of dopamine. What I want to think about today with you is the idea behind novelty and the idea behind intensity when it comes to hitting the easy button. So with every intensity or with every going into the screen and with every switch into another novel scene or genre, you are delivering more and more dopamine into your brain, and it impacts your entire nervous system and your entire body. The damage is real. The damage to your frontal lobe and to that desensitization in the reward center, it is real and visible on the brain map service that I provide. It's showing up in your mind, it's showing up in your behavior, and it's showing up in your body. So when you feel that pull, that urge, that compulsion, that pull back into the screen, it is the pull for dopamine. It is the pull for mood regulation. Now, what's pushing you back in? Mostly stress. Stress is a major trigger that's going to push you back into the screen as the screen is pulling you back in, because the reward center has been desensitized, which means it needs more constantly. It needs more intensity. It needs greater frequency. It needs longer sessions. It needs more novelty to get the same feeling as you felt before. There's tolerance building. There's withdrawal. This is a real addiction. Basically, when you go into the screen, it's very unhealthy sexuality. It's hypersexuality at its finest. So it's training your brain to look for sex everywhere and to need sex more than you would if you didn't get all that dopamine from porn and sex. It also is teaching your brain to objectify people. And I know so many people have this experience when you go into the world and you see a beautiful woman and you start thinking sexual things right away. And you think that is healthy, or you think it's quote unquote normal. It's certainly not a reflection of a healthy brain pattern. It's literally not sexual at all, but it's become linked to sexuality and to that dopamine release for you. And so hypersexuality, objectification, and changes in your arousal template all become part of the unhealthy sexuality that is, in fact, part of the easy button lifestyle of porn use. So what is the solution? Let's move into the solution. The solution is the opposite of the easy button lifestyle. So my precious child, Declan, he was given my husband's old Jaguar XF. So the point is, he got that Jaguar, an easy button, cause my husband was getting rid of it, gave it to Declan. Boom, the next day he's got a Jaguar. That's pretty awesome, right? So the Jaguar died. So I said to Declan, okay, we'll have to invest in another car for you. Start looking for cars. That man comes back, and guess what he's got on the screen on his phone before him? You guessed it, a Porsche. And I'm like, dude, Porsches are earned. They're not given. I'm not buying you a Porsche. You're insane, my man. So he's all disgruntled. He's like, but I had a Jaguar. We got to go up from here. So here's the problem is he had an easy button Jaguar. So now he thinks, boom, I'm just going to hit a button again and I'm going to have a Porsche in the backyard. I have not gotten him a car until his brain can recalibrate what's going on right now, because he has to work. He has to work for a Porsche. And so the idea is the same here, is that you've easy buttoned all this sex, all of these actors that you're viewing. You might even easy button some of these experiences, but now it's time to put your beautiful brain to work. You have to resensitize the reward center and fire back up that frontal lobe. But if you're used to the easy button, you might need a recalibration time like Declan Jude Lee does. So he's recalibrating now he's thinking Toyotas. Yes, Declan, yes. He's thinking, more of a typical car. All the other kids just have your regular teenage car. So he's getting with the program here. This is what I encourage you to do. This is what I wanted to tell you, is that there's technology that exists. I don't make it, nor do I sell it, but if you buy it with my affiliate link, you get the best pricing out there. There is state-of-the-art 2023 technology that exists that you can use to recalibrate your brain unconsciously for you while you're going to work on the subconscious and conscious reprogramming of not thinking a Porsche is going to show up on your doorstep. A sexual Porsche, if you will. So this technology is a headband, and I'm going to make sure we put the link below to the webpage on my website. If you go to my website, it's under Personal Neurofeedback Coaching. There's a tab that says Muse Headband. It's called a Muse Headband, and it's an amazing piece of technology. I literally use mine all the time to keep my brain optimized. It will help you optimize your brain and to resensitize the areas that have become desensitized. It's a very powerful piece of technology. So if you're not ready to work with a professional, this is something that you can use at home. Now, if you're looking for a higher level support after the QEEG brain map, which is the first step in working with me, I offer professional grade, the very highest technology, professional grade neurofeedback coaching that you can do at home. We use the Muse as the hardware, but there's professional software so I can individualize your training specifically to your needs I can create many protocols for you. And the best part is the data is so measurable that you get highly measurable data after every single session. I get a ton of data and I share it with you. So if you're interested, get a brain map. That's the beginning step to working together. If you are stuck in this loop, I want you to break this loop. So I need you to know that recalibrating your brain is the solution to the problem of the easy button, and it can be done using technology, but you can also do it by yourself with the starter neurofeedback, which is in the Muse headband. But how do you work your brain? You do that by not hitting the easy button. You have to make sure you do not hit that easy button. You definitely don't hit the easy button sexually. And I would even encourage you not to DoorDash, not to Amazon, not to easy button anything for a little while. Of course, you can go back to ordering things off Amazon, but in the short run, we're recalibrating, which means you have to work for it. And when you work for it, what I want you to do is start exercising executive function. So get involved in your work, especially the pieces that you like, and pick a project that lasts over 90 days would be perfect, even longer. I spoke with someone today who's building a shed. So cool. Building a shed's going to take some time. It's going to take brain power. There's no easy button when you're building something because you have to course correct. There's little dopamine hits along the way. And when you're done, there's a lot of satisfaction with a healthy dose of dopamine. You want to do the same thing in your relationships and in your sex life. So if you have a partner, start working for that pleasurable experience of being in a sexual relationship with another human being. Sex is supposed to be relational, not you and a screen and masturbation and actors that are not involved in an intimate experience. When you get busy working on your sexual relationship with your partner, what happens is you're resensitizing the reward center. Now, it's not going to happen overnight because I want you to think about how long you've been hitting the easy button. Over time, you're going to feel your brain coming online, especially if you're using the highest level technology to rewire that brain. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel calmer. You're going to feel more focused. You're going to feel motivated. In the bedroom, you're going to feel more pleasure and happiness and joy at lower levels so that you can have fun. It's about the healthy levels of dopamine and pleasure, plus serotonin for happiness, joy, and that calm, wonderful feeling, and oxytocin for connection. Okay, so you also need to figure out more tools for mood regulation. If you've been going to porn and sex, you might only have one tool left: porn and sex. What I would like for you to do, or encourage you, get 5 tools for mood regulation. You want as many mood regulation activities that are healthy for you and that you have to work for. And start practicing intimacy in your relationship. Get connected with people. Text, phone calls, go visit people. Number 3 right now are the brain hack strategies that you're going to implement. Number 1, you have to stay out of the screen. If you are stuck in this cycle, it's imperative that you break the cycle. And if you can't break that cycle by yourself, like so many people can't, please check out my 90-day program. It is a digital program that is designed to help you move through a very specific process over 90 days. And all the strategies synergize to help you be successful 90 days later. When you get into the 90-day program, it's like the university course that walks you through step by step everything you need to explore, resolve, and move through to get to the other side of that 4D cycle. Okay, so once you come out of the 4D cycle, what so many people find is that their brain might have unwired, so now they don't have to go into the screen anymore and they've broken the masturbation trap, but their brain hasn't rewired. Okay, so what does that work look like? Number 1, get the brain training headband, highest level 2023 technology that's out there. Start training your brain. If you are not getting where you want to with the headband alone, schedule a brain map with me. I can tell you why measurably. Start training your brain. It is there for you. Again, it's fairly affordable when you buy that headband from the manufacturer. It will serve you. That's number one. Use tech. We're at the point where we should be using technology to help our cause. Number two is don't hit the easy button. Start hitting the less than easy button. Make yourself dinner. Think resensitizing the reward center, firing up the frontal lobe. Food is highly dopamine producing. And when you take those small baby steps by checking out a recipe, finding the ingredients, making the meal, you're going to resensitize your brain. Plus you're moving at a slower pace, which is going to help it come online. Work. I already told you, get a work project going because it's essential to link your brain back to your work for lower levels of dopamine. Relink your brain to your passion in your work. If you don't love your work, get a little side hustle going to move you towards work you love. It can really resensitize your brain and it can really reconnect you to your life for dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. Okay, moving on to your relationship. Practice healthy sexuality. Let go of objectification. What that means is more giving, less taking in the bedroom. Sex is supposed to be relational, which means you're relating to each other. Start practicing healthy sexuality with your partner. Find 5 other healthy mood regulation tools that you can use. I already mentioned some like working out, going for walks, cooking. I want you to go back to your childhood and think, what did little you like to do? We're going to wrap up for today. All right, well, thanks for being here with me because I totally appreciate it. It's my mission to help as many people as possible stop watching porn because it damages your brain. Keep showing up. Show up next week when we visit part 2 and we think about arousal dysfunction, erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and delayed ejaculation so I can keep helping you heal your brain. Okay, until next time, control your brain or it'll control you.